Your dreams are waiting at the top of the mountain, but the question is, how long will you keep climbing with a bag full of wasted time? Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the mountains, lived a 25-year-old young man named Michael. He was a college student at a state university, but his heart wasn't in it. He was only pursuing his degree to please his parents, who had pushed him to stay in school. His father worked a modest job at a private company, and the family's limited income had to cover his sister's education, his own expenses, and a huge mortgage they had taken on to buy their home. Michael's spirit was restless. He was determined not to end up like his father, toiling away at a job that offered little financial freedom. His dream was to master a new skill, find success, and lift his family out of financial hardship. But that's where his biggest problem began. He had a group of old friends, and he'd hang out with them any chance he got. He would spend his nights drinking and then waste the rest of his time mindlessly scrolling through his phone. He also had a girlfriend who was his closest companion, and he'd always find time for her no matter how busy he was. Whenever he'd decide to get serious and focus on his goals, a text from a friend or a call from his girlfriend would instantly distract him. He'd drop everything and fall back into his old habits of partying and spending time with her. This went on for a while until a sudden event changed everything. His father became gravely ill and was forced to retire from his job. The family's financial situation grew even worse, and Michael was consumed by worry. He constantly felt anxious and exhausted, struggling to figure out how to succeed and stand by his family. The stress of his father's illness and the uncertainty of his future robbed him of his sleep, and he even forgot how to smile. One day, Michael heard a story about a wise old man who lived in a mountain village 100 miles away. Rumor had it that the man was once a famous and successful psychologist in the city. His guidance had helped countless people find a new direction and turn their dark lives into bright ones. Now, in his old age, he had left the city's fast pace for the tranquility of nature. Michael felt a flicker of hope and curiosity. He thought, maybe this wise man can calm my mind and show me the path to a brighter future. After a long and exhausting journey, Michael finally arrived at the mountain village. He found a small cottage surrounded by lush greenery. On the porch, an elderly man sat in a chair, his eyes closed in a peaceful sleep. Michael approached him softly and said, "Sir, my mind is restless. I'm so worried about my future, but I just waste my time hanging out with friends and scrolling on my phone. Can you help me find peace and get on the right track?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, a calm smile on his face. "So you're looking for a new direction," he said. "Then come with me." He led Michael to the base of a towering mountain and gave him a task. "If you truly want to succeed," the old man said, "you must climb to the top of this mountain. But remember, before you start your ascent, for every hour you've wasted hanging out or scrolling on your phone, you must collect a stone and put it in your bag. The more time you've wasted, the more stones you must carry." Michael stared at the old man in disbelief, but resolved to accept the challenge. He began gathering stones, and each one was a painful reminder of his wasted time. As he filled his bag, it grew heavier and heavier. The path up the mountain was narrow and difficult. With every step, the bag on his shoulder became a crushing weight. He realized that the time he had carelessly thrown away had now become a heavy burden, slowing him down and making his journey almost impossible. Finally, the weight became too much to bear. Just short of the summit, Michael collapsed, gasping for air. He put the bag down, feeling a sense of physical relief, but the heavy feeling of regret still weighed on his mind. When he finally reached the peak, a breathtaking view awaited him. He saw his parents and loved ones in the distance, smiling up at him, waiting for his success. Looking at them, he understood. The stones were his wasted moments, the obstacles he had placed on his own path. He realized that only by letting go of that burden could his path to success become clear. Slowly, Michael understood that his life wasn't lost. He had simply learned a valuable lesson from his mistakes. He bowed his head and said in a soft voice, "Sir, I get it now. To find success and peace, I have to make the most of my time right now." The old man smiled once more. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with streaks of light, Michael began his descent. He was no longer the same restless young man. His mind was clear and his spirit was calm, because he now knew how to take control of his life and work toward a better future. From that day on, whenever Michael felt the urge to waste time, he would remember the pain of carrying that heavy bag of stones up the mountain. He has since reduced contact with his old friends. Now he's living a much happier life with his parents and his girlfriend. If you enjoyed this story, please like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Thanks for being with us. See you in the next story with a new thought and a new lesson.